Welcome, everybody. Tuesday morning on Breaking Free from Distraction and Stress. We're on a path together, everybody. We are on a path from a place of less freedom, power, and capacity to an experience of more freedom and capacity. And what about this path, Fee? Is it a one for all path, or what's the thing with the path?
Well, the thing of the path is I've been on this path for 14 years, and that might sound a little depressing. But actually, what happens when you're on this path, it's a bit like climbing a series of mountains, you could say, or small hills. You're moving from one summit, and when you get to that summit, something new, fresh, delightful, gorgeous opens up. But then you look up, you go, oh, there's another summit to climb, and that has even more freedom, more expansion, more peace of mind, more clarity. So this journey goes on forever, and you will see people that are in our programs. They've been with us. Some of them have been with us for 7, 10 years. Others have been with us 3, 4 years. They get to a level of they escape from something, which can be stress, it can be distraction, it can be frustration or irritation. And they get up to the top of the summit, they take a breath and they go, this is wonderful. And then a new possibility opens up. And this is the cool piece around us. We're always expanding as human beings. And once we have achieved something, wonderful and delicious in our lives, then there's something more to see. There's something more to enjoy. There's something even more to expand into. So that's why I'm saying I'm on this journey for 14 years. That's not oh dear God, I haven't learned anything. It's like, oh my God, when I reach this summit, I want to move on to the next.
Right. So on this video, we will go deeper in the path, and being free from distraction and stress and the sense of overwhelm, etc., is absolutely possible. I mean, I slip into it sometimes, but it's nowadays a matter of minutes or hours before that's gone again. My thoughts go to a healthier place, and I'm back in an experience of, being free in life and having an ability to pursue having it all in whatever next peak I want to climb. So let's draw for you quickly here to remind you where we were yesterday and where we're going. Here is an individual, and if you tell the truth about where you are, most people come to us with a sense of overwhelm, that workload is bigger than they want. They have noticed that outside of work hours, their brain is occupied with thinking about work. It is this feeling of, will this ever come to an end? There must be a better way to do this. Now, they see the possibility because they hear us talk about it, or they see colleagues or friends who've worked with us, and they say, wow, it's actually possible to arrive at a different place. And there are 3, 4 things our customers say again and again and again and again when we ask them, what was the results after you participated in our methodology or program? And they say, well, I have a better sense of control now. I feel in control over my time in my life. My work gets done much more now inside of the actual work hours than also outside of work, right? I know I can make a change. I know that change is possible. And then they started saying something which surprised me, because we don't teach that, but he said, I'm happier with myself now. And I went, what did you say? Yeah, I feel happier with myself. And that kept coming back again and again and again and again. This feeling of feeling okay with myself. I'm happy with myself. So that's what you can expect when you work with our methodology. Now, I draw the journey like this. You're here, you want to go here, but it's not a straight little path like this. It's not. How it feels is often like this. It's a downhill first. How come? Because when you start telling the truth about the facts of your life and how you feel about them, it doesn't feel that great. It feels worse sometimes. When you get in touch with the darkness and the hopelessness and how many things you tried before, and you see that you've given up on yourself, you've given up on change being possible, it doesn't feel that good. We call that the pit of darkness. And then there is this mountain climb, as Fee says, up to the next top. And the fourth step in our methodology takes you through the dark pit and up to the next mountain. And then what you point to, Fee, is like, it's not one mountain to climb in life. There is the next mountain. And then the next mountain. And 25 years later, I don't know how many mountains I've climbed. And you too on your journey, right?
Absolutely.
So some of you are now here. You've had results. You're in our year-long leadership programs, perhaps, and you're looking at, wow, 2025, this is what I want to accomplish next year. And that's your climb. Some of you are here for the first time and you're kind of checking out, so what are those Hust people up to? This looks interesting. And you're here and you are starting the journey. All of you need to deepen your awareness, and I include us too also, in telling the truth about where you are, where you want to go. The facts, feelings, and focus will give you results. You need to clarify your thinking. That's step number 2. You need to create a different relationship to how you spend your time. And then you have this whole area of systems and processes and tools around you that might need an upgrade. And those 4 areas, when you study them in the correct way, are very, very reliable. So that's where we are.
Well, they're reliable in terms of getting the outcomes that you want, which is free from stress, free from overwhelm, free from just being distracted or mindless distraction, which a lot of us take because our minds are just so noisy and we don't know what to do. We just want to numb ourselves. Now, going through life being numb is no fun. Going through life being stressed and distracted is no fun. What you can have at your first peak is this beautiful life where you're getting an experience moment to moment that is fresh, that is clear, that is wise, that is creative, that is peaceful. So many of our participants talk about this newfound sense of peace of mind. I love the word peace of mind, actually, because it actually relates to there is little or no noise going on in your head. And when it does show up, you know what to do about it, or you know how to be with it. So peace of mind is a huge piece here for me, Wilhelm, too.
Great. Peace of mind and freedom. That's what this next peak is about. Now, this methodology, I found a way to work with people in the late 80s already, where we started to tell the truth about our experience of the workload, where we altered the frames of thinking or mindsets we had. We used our time a bit differently, and we used different tools to get the work done. And since then, I've been deepening and deepening and deepening this methodology. I had a middle manager at Volvo came to us, and he was so overwhelmed with work and struggling to do a good job, in his eyes, a good job. I think other thought he did a good job, but in his own eyes, and then to be enough of a father for his wife and kids at home. And he registered for our 12-week program, and then I didn't hear from him. Normally people show up for coaching or webinars along the way, but I never saw that guy once very early, and he disappeared. And then I thought, oh, we might have lost him, whatever, couldn't get a hold of him. And then after a number of months, we get in touch again, and I said, oh, you did our program. Yeah, he said, I did your program. I said, I didn't see you much in the seminars. No, I just did the work. It was a complete game changer, he said. And I said, tell me more. Well, I just opened up the videos and I followed the program through the path you pointed out. And I did whatever you told me to do. And I had a complete shift. And I said, tell me more. Well, he said, I was so stressed and burdened when I started the program. One afternoon before I joined, I came home in my car. And he said I couldn't go into the house. I was just crying and crying and crying in the car because I felt I was failing in my job. I had 30 people to take care of as a manager, and I didn't know how to do it. I felt I was failing my wife. I wasn't the father I wanted to be for my kids. So I sat in my car and I just cried. I didn't know what to do with myself. And then I contacted you, signed up for your program, and it changed everything. Now I'm happy when I come home. I have no stress at work. I can deal with whatever challenges there are, and I feel like I'm enough for my wife and my kids. Then I didn't hear from him again. I met him a couple of years later in a big seminar, and I went to talk to him. And I was so curious to see did it stick or did it fall back, whatever. But he said, no, it's still like it was after the program. It was a game changer. I know now where to look, and I know what actions to take to keep my capacity as a healthy level. So today we're going to go a little deeper. Under all these headings, there are more subheadings, but we don't have time in a short program like this to cover everything. So we point to some important pieces for you to start to reflect and build your sense of freedom and capacity. If you tell the truth, not only about your experience, the facts, feelings, focus of your experience, but of how life works, there is something to talk about in terms of producing results. When you produce results in life, you need some capacity to produce. And produce results, we simply mean get the job done at your job or get the job done at home with your family, right? You need to produce a dinner for your kids if you've got kids. You need to produce many things in life. There is this sense of production that takes place. And all of us have a sense of working on our production, getting things done. When people start to struggle and not get enough done on what they need to get done, they feel, I need to do more, and they start to focus even more on production, so they work harder. They work longer. They work more intensely. They try to type faster on the keyboard. They open up the computer in the evening when the kids have gone to sleep. They will stay there, put the alarm earlier, and start producing earlier in the day, only to discover that that didn't help. They still feel stressed, distracted, and overwhelmed. And it's because we have a blind spot. We think effectiveness is to produce more faster. It is not. Effectiveness is a matter of balance between what you do to get results in life and your power. Another word for power is capacity. If you're struggling with production and struggling with stress and struggling with overwhelm, you don't have a production problem necessarily. You're most likely having a capacity problem or a power problem. Your capacity or power is not enough for the demand of production. If it looks like this, and your power is at this level, you will struggle with stress and distraction. It's just how life works. The truth of most problems people have with stress and production is not what they think it is. They have a capacity problem or a power problem. That's why this community is called your path to power. You need to focus not on more production, stop that, and focus instead on what can I do to expand my capacity so your capacity grows and you have space to produce and more. And luckily, it's fairly easy to help human beings to find more capacity because it's mostly located where, Fee? In our heads. So why do we speak about thinking the first thing we do in this program?
Ooh, that's a question.
We don't rehearse everything we say. I ask 2 questions at Fee, and
he does.
Good luck with answering them and vice versa. It's more alive when we look in the moment. So why is this notion of thoughts and thought-feeling connection and stuff we're going to dip in today so important in this equation?
Sure. Well, the first thing I'm going to point to, I think there's a couple of really vital points in here. So the first thing I'm going to point to is think of your mind and the busyness of your mind as if you had opened all the apps up in your phone and you're using all of the apps at the same time. What do you notice would happen? Your capacity and your energy of the battery is going to drain really, 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 really fast. So when we've got a noisy head, when we've got a lot of thinking going on that's intense, it feels urgent, it's taking up our whole life because we're just living in this noise, your energy and capacity is draining so fast. It's like, whoop, you're going to lose that energy and capacity really, really quickly. So it's important to start to notice that when we have a busy mind, a noisy mind, a intense mind, a urgent kind of need to fix this, need to do more mind, you're actually draining your capacity so very quickly. Because that's how it works. Your mind is taking all of the energy. Your thinking is taking all of the energy away from focus. Your thinking is taking away all of the energy away from creativity. Your thinking is taking you away from peace of mind and clarity and wisdom. And it's just going faster, going faster, going faster, going faster, almost like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
What was it? Speedy? No, not Speedy. What was the bird that used to go?
Yes.
Yeah, that one. Yes. Roadrunner. Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
They were 100 years old. Sorry about that. So what we're trying to do, first of all, is understand the impact of a noisy mind, a mind that's moving fast, trying to solve, a mind that's stressed, that's just full of intensity and urgency, is actually draining your capacity. And when we start to wake up to that, go, oh, no wonder I feel exhausted at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh my God, no wonder I wake up in the middle of the night with my head going crazy, buzzing around the place that I'm not getting sleep. Because what is actually happening is we're running our mind too fast.
Let's draw again, and then you can share we first started learning all of this, because it's an interesting story, I think. A human being again, you'll see a few of them this week looking something like this. And this human being is having situations at their job, right? So there is work life. There might be family. There might be your own time, if you have any. And whatever other situations you come to, right? And all of these different situations are situations you participate in, and you have certain feelings there, right? You might feel overwhelmed or stressed. You feel peaceful and calm and joyful. You might feel inspired. You might feel bored. But what human beings miss is that you are not coming and experiencing those situations directly. There's always something that goes on with you if you're a human being. And since you're here, you are. And it is, you have thoughts. You have a mind that you bring to work, you bring to your family, you bring to your own time, and you bring to whatever situation it is. And as you are thinking about your family, so you will feel. As you are thinking about your work, so you will feel. As you're thinking about yourself, which is a super interesting topic, put that here, your relationship to yourself, so you will feel about yourself. Your thought is what is creating your experience, not the circumstance. So when you feel stressed, it doesn't mean the work stresses you. It means your thoughts around work are stressing you. And we say that again and again and again because the information you have, the awareness, shows up when it shows up.
Sure. So just the crux of this is we have this creative power of thought, you and I and every one of the 8 billion people on this planet. And everybody has every type of thought. Everybody has stressful thoughts, insecure thoughts, frustrating thoughts, irritating thoughts, happy thoughts, joyful thoughts, clear thinking. We all have the full range of it. We have the full range of this. Now, Wilhelm does not feel insecure. Or if he does, he doesn't talk about being insecure. Whereas when I have an insecure thought, that means something to me. So it means I take it seriously. So when it shows up, it's like, oh, I'm an insecure person. Oh, I can't do this. At least until 14 years ago, until I realized, well, when you have a thought, it will last 5 seconds and it passes through the system. That thought brings with it a feeling. So if I have an insecure thought, I have an insecure feeling. And that is what's giving me my experience of life or of the situation or of Wilhelm or of whatever is going on, there is no capacity for a situation to make you feel any way.
So there's no capacity for any situation to make you feel a certain way. But there's all the capacity in the world of your thinking to make you feel certain ways, right?
Yeah. And normally we're not stuck with one thought about a situation, usually. You can see yourself, sometimes you meet a person you fall in love with, and then 6 months later you fall out of love with them because you have different thoughts in your mind. And then another time you think they're absolutely beautiful, and then you look at them again, you go, oh my God, they're the ugliest person in the world. I mean, this is the stream of thinking that goes through our mind moment to moment to moment. The problem is, though, we think thought is reality.
We think our thoughts are true.
We do.
We think that when I have the thought, we don't notice it is thought, but this is hopeless, it will never work. That's true, it will never work. But that's not true. If you tell the truth, you have a thought that it won't work. I have this thought come up so often. My awareness got clicked during the summer, and I saw how much thinking I have that this is too difficult, it'll probably not work. Oh, this is too difficult for me, I can't handle this. Oh, this is too difficult, I will never succeed. I started to hear this noise in my head of, you can't do this. This is too difficult. You will not succeed with this. You will fail with this. And I was like, after 30 years of transformational work, what is this? You cannot stop your thinking from thinking the way it thinks. It's just thoughts, but you can relate to it differently. Like, oh, isn't this interesting? I'm having this hopeless thinking right now. I wonder. I was taking a motorcycle test to get my license. The night before the final test, I was with my driving instructor, and I was crashing into cones, and I was failing time and time and time again. I even crashed the bike on the practice court. It's like, oh my God, the bike just scraped the asphalt. I didn't hurt myself. And when I came home, I had the knowing and insight that there's something is off with my thinking. Not with the bike, not with the instructor, not with my ability to drive, because I proved it many times before that I was capable. What's off with my thinking? And I sat down in the morning and I used some tools for reflection that we have in our programs. And it suddenly dawned on me, this is too difficult, I'll probably not make it, was the thought that I was stressed out by. And the more I tried, the more stressed I got, because I was thinking, you won't do it. I woke up to it thinking, oh, that was an interesting thought. Well, I actually have everything I need to do this test. That's the truth. I'm not guaranteed to succeed, but I have everything I need. And I got some crazy thinking going on. So I went and tried in the morning, and the instructor looked at me and said, what happened to you overnight? I didn't tell him all of this stuff. I said, well, I had some insights. And my winning head came back, I said. And then I passed the test on the day. Thoughts will disappear if you don't entertain them. Thoughts are not true. They just look true and feels true. So homework for today, Fee, is to notice your amount of thinking you bring to life and work. Just notice the sheer how much thought you have in your head. And then start to notice how much of it isn't true. It's just thoughts. It's like daydreams. It's just, they have no validity. And also notice if you let them go, they actually let go of you. See if you can just take your thinking a little bit more lightly. Be a little more kind to yourself. And return to this notion that I'm not stressed because of work. I'm just stressed because I have a noisy head right now. I'm just stressed because my thinking is stressing me out. Let it be and notice what happens. Anything else for today?
No, I love that, the letting it be and letting it float away. I look at it like this. Thought is a creative tool. And if you think about it, all of the experiences you've had until I'm 59 years of age, everything that I've experienced so far in my life has come through my thinking. All the good and all the bad, and all of the wonderful experiences and all the not so great experiences. It's like we are artists and we've got this palette board of colors and we've got this canvas that we're going to paint on. And the artist that I am is going to paint my reality the way that I'm thinking it. And you will, as an artist, paint the reality the way that you see it as well. Well, then we get to throw away the paper and recreate again, because that's what we have. We have beneath all of the noisy mind, beneath all of the thinking, there's a space inside of you, which is already peace of mind and clarity and wisdom. And we're just too noisy to be able to see it in the moment. So yes, wake up, become aware of how much thinking is going on, how much noisy thinking is going on. And you may be shocked, because most people, when we do this in our coaching or we do this in our programs, go, oh my God, I didn't realize how much thinking goes on in my head. And as you said, just get a sense between you and you. Oh, I don't need to trust every thought. This is my artistry. This is me creating my reality. This is me bringing this color, this color, this color, and this type of watercolor painting to life. But it's not truth.
And if that's not true, what could be possible? If something beyond your noise ahead could be possible, what could be possible at the next peak? Well, these are the kinds of questions worth reflecting on. So thanks, Fee. 2 short things before we finish up. Remember, from where you are to the next peak, there was this downhill first into this dark place called the pit. So if it feels a little worse when you start to notice how much thinking you have, how hard you are on yourself, how much you judge yourself, how much you tell yourself you should be different, that's a sign of progress, because you're moving into that space which is between the next peak and where you are. And that sometimes we call it the pit, a darker place. So if that feels like that for you, that's good. No problem. It'll clear up during the week. And secondly, we loved reading in school all the comments. Keep posting insights, learnings, or questions from today's movie video here, and also acknowledge to other people, comment, support them, share them on the journey if you took on to commit to participate on the 3rd level, the best level. Don't forget the school platform. That's all for today, right?
Absolutely.
We'll be back tomorrow with another video. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.